Hello, it's time for a coffee chat. I always say these videos are about keeping you company, and I know the majority of you that still watch these videos, you're usually the ones that are commenting and saying, it doesn't matter what you post, Darlene, I like watching you, it feels like it's catching up with an old friend, or you feel like there's some kind of a connection. And over the years there's been a lot of, content creators on different platforms and all of that, and sometimes I get it that you feel like there's a connection or something like that. And there was a lot of people that I watched for a long time that just, things kind of changed. You felt like you lost that connection and all of that. And, I've definitely been struggling the last little while. You guys know that if you've been watching me for any amount of time. And, I think over the years of doing YouTube, when I started doing YouTube, it was, about trying to be a happier, healthier me. And you've seen all of my, ups and downs and everything else going on in life and everything. And at different times I really felt like I kind of had a purpose and doing really good and all of that. And then for a long time I kind of felt lost with doing YouTube and all of that. And I'm still struggling and figuring everything out. And I knew that I wanted to kind of say goodbye to everything prior to 2023, and I knew there was a reason why I wanted to do it. And it's only been in the last 48 hours that really everything has kind of come into focus for me. So long story short, I'm somebody that has definitely struggled with my weight pretty much since I was, 9, 10, 11, 12, kind of when puberty started. I started young, and it was just one of those things where it was always I was always kind of I remember I'd be in the biggest size in the regular store and all of that, and then I could still get clothes and do this and do that, and I was okay, but I was always the bigger one than everybody else. And different things happened, and then I went to college, and that's really kind of where the fad diet started. And I remember doing all sorts of different diets and eating plans. I remember the greatest one I did that got me down to my lowest weight. I didn't eat more than 1,000 calories a day, and I didn't eat more than 10 grams of fat. I remembered I was in college and, doing this and doing that and going out and partying and doing all that. And I remember just sleeping as late as I could so I wouldn't have to eat, and then getting up. And, I think rice, broth, and low calorie yogurt, I think is what I ate. And a few little things here and there. I remember they used to have those 100-calorie packs of Thin Stations and stuff. It was all about calories and fat, and diet pop. That's what I did. And I got down to my lowest weight, but it's something that wasn't sustainable. And then I got married and had kids, and it's just really been a vicious cycle over and over with the diet culture and the this and the that. And then I moved up to the plus size clothes and all of that kind of stuff, and it was just kind of a vicious cycle here and there. And it would be yep, I changed the way I was eating, I would over exercise, and it was just something that wasn't sustainable. And then I finally just got to that point where I don't know what to do, and life and everything happened, and a lot of different things happened, and I just kind of dealt with them the best that I could and did what I could. And the weight kind of kept going back on and turned into food and all of that for comfort and just all of that stuff when you're a food addict and overweight and binging and emotional eater and all that kind of stuff. And then I kind of started to think I'm getting older, something has to happen, and I just don't know what to do. And I said, I know that all of the things I did in the past never worked. That whole diet mentality, focusing on the scale, exercise, restrict. None of that was ever sustainable. I remember that was what my day was. I'd get dressed and it was just work out, eat as little as possible, and just keep working out and just keep watching the weight drop. And then all of a sudden, a celebration would happen. I remember I hurt my knee, and then I couldn't walk anymore. And then I just went back to all the old ways and everything like that. So, a couple of weeks ago, I got the spring clothes out and put on the capris. They fit. They weren't comfortable. Then I went and I stood in front of a mirror, and I had a good look from the front. And then I turned to the side, and then I just sat. My washing machine's going. And then I just sat and kind of looked at myself, and I just owned it. The shame, the guilt, the embarrassment, all of that kind of stuff. And I know I'm not the only one I probably felt that this year, you know, trying on your spring clothes and all of that. Going into stores too, and like I remember I looked at Maurice's. I can't stand the new styles, like the blouses and everything. I don't like the cuts of them. They're like cinched at the waist and everything. And then I'm thinking, well, I know I have a lot of clothes that I like, and I just don't enjoy it anymore. Like, I'm back wearing my black and my jeans. That's my safe outfit. Putting on anything of color, anything that's not like a black shirt, I just don't feel confident in. I don't feel confident at all. But I just looked at myself and I said, what am I gonna do? I don't know what to do. And then I remembered I think it was last year, I remember like kind of like scrolling through TikTok, and remember there was 2 women that kind of stood out to me, and they were women that had the gastric bypass. One was my age and one was younger, and they had both been over 400 pounds and, you know, had maintained their weight for over 2 years. And it really shared their whole journey of, you know, they still have the cravings, they still want something sweet, they still have the different emotions. And, you know, people would comment, and then they'd take a comment and they'd say, you know, I'm so sad that's how you lost your weight, or, you know, you took the easy way out, and they would address it. And I know that getting weight loss surgery is not the easy way out, because it ain't going to solve all your problems. It's not going to make you thin and happy and all that kind of stuff. I know that, and many of you have even shared that with me. But the one thing I do know is that they shared the hard work that it took into maintenance. You know, if they went on vacation, they gained a little bit of weight. If they went out for dinner, like, how did they handle those situations? And the happiness in them, and the joy, all of the new things they got to experience, especially flying, and how they, you know, take the things that they like and make it work for them, you know, using protein and, you know, sugar-free things and all of that, and everything that they do. And, you know, they're very inspiring. But then it was getting to the point too where they are influencers, or, you know, they get PR stuff sent to them. And I remember this last year, everybody that was on a weight loss thing, they got these dessert things sent to them. And I'm like, I know that you guys probably wouldn't buy these on your own because they're being sent to you, and the affiliate codes and all of that, because I know what my emails look like with people sending you stuff. And that's where it's like, oh, here we go, like, you're getting all this stuff sent to you and you're sharing this and that, but is this going to fit into your plan long term? And then I just kind of got to the point where, oh, I don't like this whole influencer thing and social media and all of that. And I just kind of said, okay, you know, and just kind of got back into life and everything. And then I was like working through more of the emotional stuff of, I know that I have to have a healthier relationship with food. I know that if I'm going to lose weight, I have to do something that's long-term, sustainable, that I can do it for the rest of my life. How do I do it? I don't know. So, you know, I definitely looked at myself in the mirror, and then I'm like, well, I got to do something. And, you know, I kind of got to the point, and I'm like, is this it? Am I going to have the weight loss surgery? I was ready to sit down and make that appointment with my doctor and say, I'm ready. I'm ready. It's time to do this. And then I'm thinking, but yeah, even if I do it, it's still, you know, so much and everything goes into it. And I said, I need to do something. So I started to just make a few little changes here and there. I was trying to up my protein, try to have, like, lower my carbs here and there, cut out some sugars here and there, and really be aware of what I'm eating. And then, you know, it was a couple of days in a week, and I'm like, okay, I need a starting point. I need to get on the scale. So I hopped on the scale and I saw the weight. Not a big surprise. I think it was the second highest I've ever weighed in my life. And, you know, it's like, it's my shame, it's my story, it's what it is. And I'm like, okay, this is my starting point. What do I do? So last Monday, I was gonna vlog because it was the only day that I knew that I would be able to do anything. So I was ready to kind of start everything then, and, you know, own up to it and say, this is where I'm starting at, guys. Like, I want to share it with you. I need the encouragement. I want to, you know, share my journey and all of that. And I started, and then the rest of the day I didn't feel like it was right, and I'm like, oh, I'm just setting myself up for failure. I'm gonna tell them I'm losing weight. And then I just kind of like said, no, I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing. And then the rest of last week there was a lot of appointments for my mom, and it was also the week that there was a lot of stuff that I just had put off for so long. I had procrastinated things with the house, different things I needed to take care of, and I got everything done and all of the appointments. It was emotionally draining, it was physically draining. I'm starting to have night sweats at night, so I'm not sleeping that great. And then all of the emotional stuff, and I just kept making more changes and lowering the carbs, upping the protein, eating 3 meals and 1 snack, trying not to eat after dinner. You know, a few days ago, I'm like, I found another YouTuber or content creator. She's only 25 years old and she lost 70 pounds naturally, and then she had the weight loss surgery. So I think she's lost like 170 pounds now. And she's 25, and I was just kind of scrolling, and she said, you know, what are the things that you're scared of? And like loose skin, looking older, and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, I think that's what I'm scared of is, you know, oh, here goes Darlene again, you know, she's gonna do this, and then all of a sudden she won't talk about it and everything. And I think that's really like what I'm scared about, but I know that I need to do this. I need a purpose. And, you know, I started just journaling again, writing down like what I eat at the end of the day, reflecting, was it a good day, was it a bad day? And yesterday I did that, and I looked at what I ate, and I was very aware of everything. I did really good, and I felt satisfied. I listened to myself when I was hungry. I didn't overeat. I didn't do anything. And there was still a sense of sadness to me, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. Like, I just feel like I'm so helpless. Like, and then I'm like, you know, I'm just gonna keep this to myself. I'm gonna try and just, you know, keep doing what I've been doing for the past couple of years. And obviously it ain't working. It's not making me happy, and there's not a lot of content up because it's not what I want to share. So I woke up this morning and I'm like, I need to know, have I made any progress? And I got on the scale, and it had moved quite a bit. And then I'm like, oh my God. So if I wouldn't have had pizza Friday night, and if I wouldn't have had that, you know, McDonald's lunch, I could have lost so much more. And I'm like, no, you know, you were gone all day. You needed to have something. You got that new McPix meal, a small fry, a Coke Zero, and a McDouble burger. And that's what you had for lunch. Like, that's what people eat. And like pizza, it was Friday night, you know, it was a long week. I got it. I didn't overeat and indulge. Like, I ate till I felt full, and then I waited, and I'm like, yeah, I'm still hungry. So I had a third slice. It was pizza. It's like cardboard anyways. And all of those like immediate feelings of, I could have lost more. I could have done this. Oh my goodness, look how much weight I've lost. I can wait, like, you know. And I'm like, Darlene, this is why it hasn't worked in the past. And I'm just like, something needs to change. And you know that you've been working on trying to have a healthier relationship with food. You're trying to be more aware of what you bring into your house. You're trying to get rid of those trigger things. You're trying to find something to do, whether it be a puzzle or, you know, reading or, you know, coloring and all of that, whenever you're feeling like emotionally something and you need to like get your mind off it and not turn to food for the comfort. Like, you've worked through those things, and you are ready to make that change and everything right now. So, you know, after I weighed myself this morning and I said, just settle down, because this is a long road. And I think that's the biggest thing, is like these 3 content creators now that live full lives. That's not their full-time job. You know, this is a thing of sharing their journey and getting a lot of purpose. One of them just won something for like inspiration and how many people like she's helped, and like sharing her truth and all of that. And I'm like, that's what I need to do. That is what I need to get back to with YouTube. And I wrote down like a little journal thing, like my coffee I had this morning, and then I wrote that I weighed myself in and did this and that and blah, blah, blah. And then I looked at the date, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. That is 6 months. That is 6 months until I turn 50. That is 6 months. I have my starting point. I have a focus. I have a goal. I have a purpose. It's not about waking up and seeing how little I can eat, how much weight I can lose, how much exercise can I do. It's not about any of that right now. The next 6 months are getting me to my 50th birthday and going from there. And then I was thinking about something I'd like to do for my 50th birthday. And I'm thinking, oh my goodness, like, that would be so amazing, like, to have this 6-month goal and to document this thing that I would love to do. I want to talk to my husband about it. And I'm like, that would be a reward. Like, that would be a journey. That would be part of me getting older and being a woman, and something I've never experienced before. And then I'm thinking, you know, October, sweater weather, and, you know, all of the pumpkin stuff and everything. And like, even if I lost like 20, 30 pounds by October, how good would I feel? And then I'm like, you know, if I feel like things are at that point where it's not working, that is when I'm gonna have to make that decision of, you know, what do I do? I need to do something to get the weight off, and I'm gonna give myself 6 months. And it felt refreshing. It felt like I had a purpose again. And I think the reason I felt like I had a purpose is because I've looked at these 3 women the past couple of weeks, and I've listened to their story. I've watched them when I felt like I needed to. I went back and watched some of their older videos of like what they ate in a day and all this kind of stuff. And it just, I feel like it kind of felt exciting again, because everything has been going good with everything around me. It's me that's the problem, you know, that Taylor Swift, it's me. But I haven't felt a purpose, and then that's why I'm not having a lot of videos up, because I don't want to be Susie Homemaker. I don't want to do the baking. Like, I want to make nice meals and cook, and you know, I'm excited about the fresh produce and all that kind of stuff, but I don't feel like that's my purpose. And in the past week and a half too, I stopped watching a lot of things that I just, like, I don't get anything from them anymore. They're absolutely amazing women, and you know, going through different things in their life, and they're very motivating and inspirational, but there's just not what I need to see anymore. And I think that's exactly what I need right now. I need to focus on myself. And I know that there's even one of you out there that, you know, you put on your spring clothes and summer clothes, and you know, you're like, here we go again. It's that vicious cycle. And I'm ready to make that big long-term change for myself and my family and everything. And it's exciting. It's things that I've been wanting to do for a long time. It's learning to eat things in moderation here and there, but it's really about learning to go without a lot of different things and learning to maneuver things. So if I go out, what is a healthier option? If, you know, I have to go through the drive-through, what can I get that would, you know, satisfy me but not make me feel like lethargic and like I ate too much and all that kind of stuff. I've really been working on the emotional part of it. Saw a change in the scale, but the biggest thing in the past like 2-3 weeks, I don't felt like I've deprived myself of anything. The other night I said to my husband, I said, I want to eat but I'm not hungry. And I said, like, what is that? Like, I'm not hungry. I don't even want to eat. It's just the fact of like grabbing a bowl of popcorn or, you know, grabbing a handful of something and eating. And I'm like, I don't need to eat. I'm not feeling hungry. And that was kind of like, you're getting it. You're getting it. Like, you need to work through all of that. I need a purpose. And this is kind of my purpose. So I do apologize. I needed to close everything off prior to 2024. I just don't know that person. There's a lot of like stuff that I just want to let go of and everything. I just want to kind of keep moving forward, and this is kind of my starting point. And the other thing with my house, like, I'm happy with the way my house is, like cleaning it and doing this, like decorating and sharing a little bit, but I need to get into the nitty-gritty, like decluttering, and I just feel so overwhelmed because I know it's going to be such a process to go through the papers and the pictures and the clutter and the things that are in drawers and the things that are in boxes and those things that, you know, that were sitting underneath our stairs for over a year that we never looked at. They have to be gone through. It's going to be dusty, it's going to be dirty, and I need to do that. And I feel like that's my focus. That's probably what a lot of you are probably at that stage of your life right now. And it feels good. You know, last Monday when I started to do this, I'm like, no, I don't want to open myself up to this. You know, oh, don't eat this, do this, blah, blah, blah. And I don't need negativity. I really need positive energy in my life right now. And I think that's really what I felt last night. I felt so like down and sad, and I'm like, I need to have purpose in my life for myself. Like, when I get up, I have purpose of, you know, okay, I gotta take my mom to the appointment and do this, this, and this, and my son needs this, this, and this, like the dogs need this, and who needs this, my husband, the house. But I'm not like, what does Darlene need for today? And that kind of made me sad. But now I'm like, I feel like I have a purpose and a focus, and I need to focus on myself for the next 6 months, go from there. Because I'm turning 50, and that was the girl, she said, like, I'm 25, I've been on this weight loss for 18 months. It's hard work every day. And, you know, I have to do it, because she said, I don't want to go back to that person I was. And, like, it was really listening to her journey, even though she's half my age. And I don't want to be turning 50 and then turning 60. I remember when I turned 40. Here I am turning 50. And I need to make the change for myself. I want to be around for a while. I want to, you know, share a lot of things with my family, my husband, myself, and all of those different things. And I'm really excited about it. It's going to be a long road, we're just gonna take it one day at a time. But I feel like I actually have a purpose now, and that's why I haven't been posting, because I just haven't felt like, you know, what I'm doing is just like those boring mundane tasks, but they just don't bring me the fulfillment or the satisfaction that they did for years when my kids were little, or, you know, when I was cooking and doing freezer meals and everything. Now I'm excited to make dinner and, you know, have dinner with my family and the holidays and all that kind of stuff. It's just figuring it out how it fits for a peek inside. So that's it. This is it. This is it. This is my wake-up call. I feel like I've kind of hit my rock bottom for the last little while, and you guys have all witnessed it and this and that. It's embarrassing. It's all of that kind of stuff. But if you want to stick around to encourage me, support me, I need a little bit of that right now. I don't need the I told you so's or the negativity. I just want encouragement, and these 3 women have definitely encouraged me. And there's one other woman that I've talked to once, and I remember, I think I told this to you one time. I remember seeing this lady walking, and she's probably in their late 60s, early 70s, and I could tell that she had hip problems or something like that, and she was getting out and walking. And then I hadn't seen her, and then I saw her again, and she was walking and walking and walking. And I remember she had this coat in the wintertime, and I saw her out at the store, and I said, "Excuse me, do you go walking on this street every day?" And she goes, "Yes, I do." And I said, "Well, I just wanted to let you know that you look amazing." And she said, "Well, thank you." She goes, "You just made my day." And she said, "It's a lot of work." And I said, "I bet it is." And I said, "Well, you look amazing." And she thanked me for that. And I've seen her since then, and she's lost even more weight. And I don't know if she had a hip replacement or a knee replacement, but she walks so good. And I bet you she's probably at least 20 years older than I am. And that is motivation. So from a 25-year-old to maybe a 70-year-old or possibly older, those women, even though we're completely different stages of life, I can still take something away from them to help me with my everyday life. And that's what I want to do. I want to have a purpose to share my journey, to help even one person out there say enough is enough. I need to do this for me. I know it sounds selfish, but sometimes we got to do some things for ourselves, and I'm ready to do this. So vlogs, mostly that's what we're going to be focusing on, and then as we get a little bit more comfortable and all of that, that's really what I wanted to do. Like, I knew that this was my fresh start, my journey, and I'm so looking forward to the summer and the months and just sharing my whole journey as a woman and all of that. And I feel like this is my purpose from everything separate. So, you know, some women are CEOs and teachers or lawyers and mothers and all of the different hats and everything they wear. I finally feel like I'm starting to have a purpose from everything else in my life, and having a little bit of purpose for myself, and it actually feels pretty good. So here it is. However I stumble and fall and all of that, I will try and share as much honesty with all of you. So thank you for watching, everybody. I hope you all have an absolutely amazing day. Take care, and we will talk to you very soon.